Getting in deeper. He's sinking it in deeper here. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
That's tight.
Super tight. That's...
Oh,
you never know.
His chest.
You never know how bad it is until you see them start pushing. There it is.
I wanted to take a look here at this new way that Flick is setting up this arm triangle, which is I've seen for a couple of years now, and I've been using myself for a couple of years. And it's not the traditional become perpendicular to the person like this. In fact, if anything, you're trying to stay just about as parallel to the person as you can. Now, you'll eventually try and turn their hips like away from you with a butterfly or something, but I just like the setup. I thought it was really slick. So clearly you can see he's stuck here in half guard. He drops to his hip, and that helps scoop up Gordon's head. If you'll notice that Gordon's head kind of comes off the mat just a little bit when he hits that scoop. So here, boom, scoop. And it doesn't look like much, but that is just enough to get his head to come up. And once his head comes up, then his head gets shoved more into the crook of the elbow. So Flick here is using his head to shove one way. When he brought his head up, he shoved it more into the crook of this elbow. And then obviously now he's pulling his arm very tight this way. And again, notice because he didn't have to get that classic perpendicular line that so many coaches talk about, that he didn't have to worry about clearing his foot down here in half guard. So drops to his hip, lifts the head, starts to turn, starts to squeeze. Now it's pretty tight right here already. The other thing this does when you drop to that hip and scoop the head is that this answer the phone defense that is kind of common for a lot of head and arm chokes, it kind of becomes useless because you're so low down on the wrist that it's really not helping anymore. So let's kind of roll this thing forward here a little bit more. Tight, tight, tight. Strong bridge is almost what you always get as soon as you kind of go to this angle because they feel like there's not a post back here, so they'll be able to bridge through. What Flick does to help counter this is he uses this right here as a butterfly. He helps kick with that. And I've used that many times myself too, but that kind of butterfly kick is to help slows him down so he doesn't get bridged and rolled over, which, Gordon feels like there's space, or there should be space to do that. But then Flick makes one more transition with his right foot where he brings it over. Scroll forward. There it is. Once he brings that foot over, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that foot coming over there, right here, sets to like a butterfly behind his leg. And then he uses that butterfly to strong kick here, which will start to rotate Gordon's hips. So boom, see that strong kick? And now we have a lot more separation. So if we look at this right here, this tight body separation, it wasn't there at the beginning. And that was accomplished by Flick kicking that butterfly strong. And then tight, 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 and then boom, fight's over. So this kind of fancy new way of setting up the head and arm choke where you don't have to get perpendicular, you just kind of drop to a hip. I think it's really, really effective, and I'd like to see more guys use it.